Never forget 9/11, 2001. America was attacked. America was attacked. Here it is now, 9/11, 2023. Some 20 years later, and America is under attack. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. We're tired of COVID. We're not weary. We're not exhausted from resilience. We're not exhausted from immunity. We are tired of COVID. It's time to get out of this toxic viral situation. COVID didn't develop all of a sudden. COVID didn't attack in over 30 states all of a sudden. COVID killed millions around the world. It's saying quit killing millions in months, but it wasn't all of a sudden. We've been in COVID over 3 years, and it's time to kill the virus. We cannot surrender to COVID. We will not surrender to COVID. Kill the virus. We won't surrender. We cannot surrender. With COVID, life expectancy is down. We won't surrender. We cannot surrender. With COVID, there were many economic problems. We didn't surrender, and we won't surrender. Kill the virus. There are many psychic and psycho problems and many mental health issues with COVID. We cannot surrender. There are many neuro problems, brain fog, and loss of gray matter, neuro problems. We cannot surrender. We won't surrender. There are environmental problems. Since COVID, we have had less rains. We cannot surrender. We won't surrender. There are many social injustices and social problems, inter-environmental problems, life problems, crime, and war with COVID-19. We won't surrender. We cannot surrender. There's an actual biological disease with COVID that has many effects and many symptoms. We cannot surrender. We will not surrender to COVID. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. There's an incubation stage. There's the 4 stages to a virus. Also with the CDCs on how a disease or germs are transmitted, how germs are carried. Germs don't move themselves. Germs don't move themselves. They need people to move them. So the incubation stage, an appearance of symptoms, remission, and recovery. 4 stages of a virus. Incubation, appearance of symptoms, remission, and recovery. Incubation, there's a source of transmission in susceptible people. So you have to stop the source. You have to identify the source, stop its transmission, not be susceptible people. Even if the source was transmitting, you still have to not be susceptible people. Right now, we are in COVID. Right now, the USA has crime and judicial system problems. Right now, the USA must secure the growth of its money system. Right now, the USA is in COVID, and it's time we get out of it. I know people are ready to be rid of COVID. We will not surrender. Kill the virus. COVID appearance of symptoms may be cold-like symptoms. People lost taste and smell. The appearance of symptoms for COVID was death. COVID began to show not only did it have sickness and death and a biological attack within death, it has a psychological attack and mental sickness and disorder. In May, the U.S. government officials and the World Health officials announced the pandemic emergency is over. It's still a threat, but the emergency is over. We can see in our real life and living time that people were dying by the millions. Now it has stopped. Some immunity to the group has been built, made, and evolved. Since 2021 and 2022, COVID started to show psychological symptoms. Psychosis, denial, antisocial personality disorder. Also seeing hospitalization and repeats of COVID resurgence. These variants of the source. Is the source incubating? We know from booster shots that some transmissions and building resilience to transmissions has not happened. Transmissions have not stopped, and obviously building resilience to these transmissions have not happened. There are still too many susceptible people. There is too many transmissions. The source or sources of COVID must be eliminated. Kill the virus, eliminating the source or sources. So we know we had econ problems, environmental problems, a biovirus, and psych problems. So we're talking about killing the virus, eliminating the source or sources. The source of the economic problems, of course, was the pandemic itself. It's also the loss of productivity. We see people working from home, some of the symptoms. The loss of vitality, morale, money and business forces, and industriousness. We know that the remission for the economics was, of course, the stimulus, the PPP, and the UI. And now we are in recovery economically from the pandemic. Kill the virus, eliminating the sources. There are environmental problems, the conditions, how things are, the vibe, the flow, the culture, the social justice. So we see these problems. We have some remissions. We need some remissions. We need circulation. We need people outside. There's a biovirus and the incubation, the appearance of symptoms, the remission, and the recovery. We're in remission in the biovirus. The source, of course, was the SARS corona. The SARS corona was the source. And human behavior that spreads germs. So we are in remission and recovery. There were symptoms, of course, of psych things from COVID. There's some source and some transmission in susceptible people. They have psychosis, denial, and antisocial personality disorder. This antisocial personality disorder is associated with the social distance violation. The social distance violation. And people refusing to shelter in place, and the refusal to shelter in place, and the triggers that is. The refusal to shelter in place, and the triggers that is. Antisocial personality disorder, the psychosis, and the denial. So we all must do our portion of the task. We all must do our portion of the task so we all get rid of COVID. You're a rugged individual. You are not alone in the USA. We will not keep the bad conditions in the USA. Kill the virus. We will not stay in playing maintain. We will not stay in a downward rut, maintaining failing mediocrity. We will not surrender. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. Go on GoFundMe. End COVID. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. Kill the virus. We have 4 areas. Of course, we are in the process of ending the virus, killing the virus. We need everyone outside. We're in the process of mental health skills education. These are the areas. Bio-resilience, social distance skills for adults, and community development. Community development, social distance skills for adults, bio-resilience, and mental health skills. Kill the virus. Go on GoFundMe. Kill the virus.